It's the final title-deciding stop in a season that's had it all. Welcome to our coverage of Bridgestone GR86 here at the Supercars in Taupo. Straight to qualifying, here's Chad Nailon.
The sixth and final qualifying session for season 24-25 in the NZ GR86, Bridgestone NZ GR86 Championship. It's been a thrilling fight so far. Hugo Allen, is he going to be a little bit of a tow truck here, I wonder? He's got Hayden Baccaris second in the championship right behind him. Now, Baccaris picked up the pole award here at round one of the championship because this is where the season started. Similar to what we saw last year as well, it begins and ends the championship here in Taupo. And he is going to get a little bit of a slipstream down this big, long back straight here, or will Hugo Allen pull out and give it to him?
Well, it not only looks like he's giving away a little bit of a slipstream benefit here to Baccaris, but he's also taking him along for the ride, even just having him having braking points and things along the way. Now, looks like Allen there is trying to break that slipstream.
It was like the last lap of the Indy 500 down there as they fight all the way to the checkered flag, but it's actually the second flying lap of GR86 qualifying. Now, is that going to be the difference in lap time here? Allen goes 40.4, Baccaris goes quicker, Betjen goes quicker, and then Cooper Barnes goes even quickest. One of the Aussies in the field. Nice job.
Always nice to sit at the top of the timesheet, and I wonder what have we got here from these two guys in Allen and Baccaris. Can they get on with it? And just at the minute, looks like Allen's just skipped away ever so slightly. But the sector times are not telling us that they're looking all that strong at the minute.
Yeah, well, Hugo Allen's actually clinging on to it on this lap. He's 14th at the moment in the Kiwi Tarp Carevet's number 17. This is, and I don't want to oversell this, but this is a critical half lap in terms of his championship fight right now. He does not want to be fighting from the mid-pack in race one.
So he will have to get on with it here, this last little phase of the lap. Really laid on the brakes down into the final left-right, left combination. If you go too deep there, though, that middle phase of the corner is no good, and you end up having to stay on the brake pedal too long. No momentum to finish the lap off. What can he do?
Oh, he goes to eighth. And Betjen goes to the top and knocks Barnes off. 139.7. It's like Blinko goes inside the top three. Chris White, a nice lap. He finds himself fourth. Jet Murray to fifth. Cam Hill to sixth. This is not how we expected this to roll out. And I wonder if the proximity between first and second on the racetrack has had an effect here and how they've played this session.
You go out at the start of the session, you start with a low tyre pressure, you build temperature, it builds pressure, and at some point there, the two will cross over and performance goes out the window. So they can come back in now, drop some pressure out of this Bridgestone tyre, breathe a little bit more life into it, and go again.
Now, just about every driver has entered the racetrack once again from pit lane. Now, importantly, Zach Blinko was able to jump up to second. Now, that was after being in pit lane and repressuring those tyres. 13 thousandths, he's only just missed out on going to pole. So that would be the closest first to second margin of the year if it stays that way. Checkered flag about to fly in 5 seconds. Last chance for the championship leader to get himself up off the canvas, and he's just about sideways through the last corner. 13, 14. Hugo Allen needs a good lap time, and he gets it. He goes to the top 5. That was clutch from the championship leader. That might just be a championship-saving lap from Hugo Allen.
And the net gain there was 6 positions on where he previously was. But thankfully for you, Blinko still stays second, and that gap from first to second, you can check off your spreadsheet.
Well done.
That is super tight.
Tightest margin of the year, first to second. Betjen gets back-to-back poles. Well done to him. And puts his hat on the ring in terms of this championship as well. He's third, but championship leader Hugo Allen, he'll breathe a little easier tonight, starting 5th for race 1 tomorrow. Especially when you consider Hayden Baccaris now goes back to 11th with that lap as well. So second in the points, not even on the first page of the results. He picked up the pole here, Andy, for round 1. So he's got some serious work to do tomorrow. 25 cars making it out for that qualifying session, the final one of the year. And with that lap, Josh Betjen will also pick up the quickest qualifying performance of the year and gets the only back-to-back poles of the year. The only driver to record 2 poles. They're on the grid for the very first race of the weekend. Josh Bethune is on the pole, and Zach Blinko's alongside him. Can Bethune get the run down towards turn 1 and keep the good form that he's got going in this title fight? Watch out for car 17, the black and red car on the inside. That's Hugo Allen. He's leading this championship, needs a trouble-free run. So this opening lap could be a critical point off the back of a really championship-saving qualifying run late yesterday afternoon. Have a look at this 3-wide action. Is someone going to get shoved off in the background? Car 222. That's McLeod on the outside, hanging on to it as well with Arthur Braun in the 222. So tight racing in the mid-pack. There's AJ Giddy on the outside in car 10. He's fighting with Cooper Barnes, one of the Australian drivers in the field. Nice start, though, for Josh Bethune at the front of this field. Andy Jones slotting into commentary for this one. A number of championships on the line, and maybe that rookie championship could be settled in this race today, Andy.
Oh, I definitely could, Chad. And I'll just rewind about 30 seconds and answer your question. Are we going to get anybody pushed off the road as we went 3 wide there? The answer to that is very, very emphatically no. So far, racing has been absolutely brilliant. And I will make a note about Zach Blinko there. He looked like an island on the run up to turn 1. Everybody was going left, and here's this guy on his own out to the right. So that was cool to see, but looks like we've got a little bit of a split at the front of the pack at the moment. Bethune and Blinko have just gone, and they are ahead of AJ Giddy there in the 186, or that's Barnes, sorry, now. So Barnes has gotten past Giddy. There we are as we pick up the 10 OP entry. So it looks like it's going to be a battle for the race win here at the minute with still 7 laps to go. But Bethune and Blinko, man, they've left everybody behind.
Out of there. Great start for those two as the battle went on behind them. How about this move around the outside? Was that Murphy? I think it might have been in the 81. Also John Penny. Both their cars look to be right in the middle of that fight. First lap complete. First race, last round of their championship.
Oh, that was a sweeping line into turn 1. From what I just saw and what we could see from our vision here, Chad, there was about 6 different lines. Moment in the background there. Is that Christina Orr West in the Dale RTM entry?
Yep. She's had a few moments this weekend facing the wrong way. That one certainly wasn't on her own.
I think at the moment there'll be a little bit of, I guess, games at play to work out where you sit. Anywhere between 8th and 12th there will be an opportunity, and here is exactly that battle pack we're talking about. 2 wide through McLeod. Putting the door on the 20 and not afraid to race Hayden Baccaris. Baccaris second in the championship, and he can see his championship slipping away today unless he gets going. Now, if Baccaris was to finish just inside the top 10, and at the moment that is where he is or where he's about, he's 11th in that last lap, Andy, that could be a critical spot in the championship. Finish 10th, get back on the front row for race 2 tomorrow. And this was still continuing here. McLeod was on the outside all the way through that very long radius hairpin turn 1. Was able to hang on and maintain that 12th position. We pick up this battle again now. This is Barnes, Giddy, White, and then everybody basically back to 10.
Yep, they're fighting for the last step on the race 1 podium. Bethune looking pretty handy right now, and as it would stand, would be closing that championship picture up to Hugo Allen, just ahead of Justin Allen, just to make life a little bit harder for the commentary box team right now. Here we go, championship leader on the attack.
That opportunity has just been taken away from him, though. The defensive line will win out on the way into the corner, but it does slow you up. You have to slow the car down, makes more of a turn by the time we get to the inside there at the second last corner, and it will negate itself. But yeah, absolutely took away the opportunity there. Jet still into the rear of Cameron Hill there, and they'll go 2 wide for 4 cars, 2 by 2. Come on, Chad, this is your bread and butter. I thought you would have lit up there.
This is really good stuff. He just
awesome stuff.
Forced the door open, check the mirror. It's facing the wrong way on the right-hand side of Jet Murray's car. It's a reverse mirror at this point. 2 by 2. On the outside is Baccaris, second in the championship. He will be hating what he's watching up the road, and now he's gone. Huge one. McLeod involved. Off goes Murray into the gravel, and Hayden Baccaris might have just watched his 24-25 championship go up in smoke and dust. Huge damage to the rear of that car. It's over. No chance of him starting inside the top 10 and maybe getting that pole for race 2. And surely that is it for the title fight. Scratch his name from it. Let's try and figure out what happened here.
And I feel like it's all the damage is happening right behind the little battle pack that we were watching. The way Cameron McLeod came into the rear of Baccaris there. Yeah, now this might tell the, so McLeod's on the brake there. He's just carried a huge amount of speed. Looked like the car was not even stopping. Oh, look, from those images that we can see there, Chad, I can't pick what it was other than McLeod just making heavy contact with the rear of Baccaris, who then ended up spinning into Jet Murray. But it feels like this is just a driver error that's, wiped out championship contention.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a long way back from that point of the weekend. The good news is that they've got until tomorrow to fix the car for Hayden Baccaris if he can get himself back into the championship fight. But unusual way for this one to finish up. So it's Josh Bethune who's going to get the win here today, and he continues his run of form, which started in Highlands, where he won a couple of races there. He won one recently at Hampton Downs, and he goes back-to-back again. And as it stands at the moment, Hugo Allen with a handy points lead, with Bethune going to second, jumping Hayden Baccaris. And importantly, Allen got the fastest lap of the race. You don't get points for that. But race 3, Andy, is a combination of your fastest laps from races 1 and 2. So he is in the box seat potentially to get the pole for that one. Arthur Braun finished 10th. That'll put him on the pole for later today. And Hugo Allen will start ahead of Josh Bethune, who's second in the championship in race 2 as well. So while he's taken a bit of a hit in the points here right now, Hugo Allen, it should work out for him a bit later in races 2 and 3.
A dramatic twist in this first race. The backdrop to the podium is that Josh Bethune is now just 44 points behind series leader Hugo Allen with 2 races left. A break and back with more. Cars about to be released here in Taupo for the penultimate race of the Bridgestone GR86 season. Top 10 from yesterday's race results have been reversed to set the grid. Here's Chad and Andrew.
We are launching straight into it today. It's the 2025 ITM Taupo Super 440 and the Toyota 86s. The new GR86s are on track right now for their second race of the weekend. It's their final round of action. Beautiful day once again here in Taupo. Tell you what, for the land of the long white cloud, we haven't seen many of them this week. It's been the land of the long blue sky today, Andy Jones, and we're into it with the 86s. Championship on the line, and it's all going Hugo Allen's way at the moment. We could also see the rookie honours summed up in this race with Chris White running at the front of the field, and there go a few mirrors and parts, and it's 86 racing as we love it. Good morning to you, mate.
Very good morning to you too, Chad, and everybody tuning in at home, especially on this glorious Sunday morning here in Taupo. And you said it is the land of the long white cloud, and in terms of GR86, it's the land of running your clocks just a little bit early. These guys don't mind deploying early, do they? And we absolutely nailed the timing of the start this morning. So I feel like I need to resync my clocks to be on GR86 time, and then you'll never be late for a meeting ever in your life.
Now check this out. Simon Hunter has burst into the lead of this race. He's one of our Masters drivers. So an unusual circumstance here where we've got him leading the young pros out there. Now he's pretty handy himself. He's 38 years of age from Christchurch, driving for the Race Lab team. Beautiful operation. They do present some great gear on and off the racetrack at Race Lab. And he's got plenty of Formula Ford experience, including winning a race in 2022 in the South Island Series. And the battle is on here as Cooper Barnes gets down the inside and just about gets it stopped in time ahead of Chris White. Falls in behind him. This is the scene of the big incident yesterday, which really skittled the pack and brought about a bit of an untimely end to the championship charge of Hayden Baccaris. And we pondered if there was some issues down in the pedal box for poor Cam McLeod, who hasn't made it back for this race, and it did indeed come to be that he had a small issue in pulling that car up, which caused the field to skittle off in all the different directions down there yesterday. That would lead to the safety car, which pretty much ended the race. So back into it today. Blinko's right in there. That's Zach Blinko, second in this rookie championship fight. The rookie gets an invite to the Bathurst 1000 to compete with Toyota GAZOO Racing Australia and their GR86 championship. So lots to fight for here, Andy. What a great shot that is. You've got Hugo Allen on the left-hand side, and the fight for the lead is on as Justin Allen launches one down the inside of the race leader. Late move from Simon Hunter to just block that spot down there in the last couple of corners, and that's really checked the field up. And look at Hugo Allen, he's up to third. He's past Cameron Hill. That's not the Supercars Cameron Hill. And now he's looking at going for second as he goes with a very late move to the inside of Justin Allen. The two Allens are fighting it out. Not only are they no relation, they've actually got different spellings to their last name. It's Hugo Allen following Justin Allen. They've both been race winners this year. We've got trouble in the background as well. It's AJ Giddy sitting side onto the racetrack. Thankfully, the OP contractor's door didn't have anyone meet it in the middle of that corner. Oh, Allen now to the inside for the lead. Launched it off the curb.
Simon Hunter is not giving this up, though, is he? He does not look like he wants to give this race away. And when you're out in the lead and you have this opportunity, you fight tooth and nail, and that's exactly what's going on here. I'm liking the intensity at the front of this field. We thought it would be a bit of a walkover with Justin Allen just getting the job done on Hunter, but no such thing. A couple of good blocks there, very NASCAR style. I'm not sure how it's going to play out here, but speaking of not sure how it's going to play out here, how was the left front there just dragging across the grass?
Entertaining drive from the race leader so far. This time Allen so late on the brakes down here, but again, checked up by the race leader. It's building though in this mid-pack halfway home. Race 2 at the exact halfway point of the 3 races. Final stop in the championship here at Taupo. The season started here in November last year, and it's kicking off right now. That was Zach Blinko and Chris White. They are the two drivers fighting for the rookie championship, and one Allen's past the other here.
Down the inside of Justin Allen.
So we'll see how he goes trying to wrestle the lead away from Simon Hunter. But okay, Hunter's still in the lead. Hugo Allen parked under his boot lid. Justin Allen trying to get a bit of a run onto the front straight, but in doing so might leave himself vulnerable here to Zach Blinko.
Oh, and he's got overlap here as well, Hugo Allen. So
3 wide for the lead, Andy. Check this out. Allen's on both sides of the fence on terms of the left and the right side of Hunter, and Hugo Allen, that is an all-time move to get himself to the lead.
Justin Allen, though, was going for the lead, and he's now going to end up 6th off the back of this sequence here. So answer that question, Hugo Allen, he's got the job done. Simon Hunter, though, he has just gone from 1st to 3rd in the course of 2 corners.
That was crazy stuff, and now he's out and wide. That's the 88, Chris White, fighting for the rookie championship. Arthur Braun's out there in the dust as well. There's been plenty of dust just off the racing line. Unusually dry around New Zealand in these parts as well. A very wide Toyota GR86.
Oh, 3 or 4 lap blocking exercise that we saw there. It was really, really good.
This is tight. Bethune side by side, make that nearly 3 wide. White got both of them. Could have swore he was on the other side of those 2 cars when they came out of turn 9. Surprise, he's got around both Bethune and Westbury. These are all pressure spots for Bethune in his championship fight, which is slipping away as the race leader and championship leader gets away.
Yeah, well, it's all settled down at the front of the field here, Chad, and it looks like Hugo Allen has got this well and truly in control. This is where the energy is at the minute on this final lap. People will be jostling, trying to make up any spot we can, and I just saw there was a shift there with Westbury and Barnes for 7th and 8th. So that no doubt will continue, and that's the hot spot at the minute. Plenty of action here. Look at this. I saw Jet Murray earlier, and he was involved in that incident yesterday. Somebody going, oh, there. Is that the 88 of White?
It is. Now, Blinko had to finish 2nd, and White had to finish out of the points to keep the rookie championship alive to race 3, and he's falling back dangerously close to being out of those points at the moment, but looks like he's just steadied himself now.
Was that potentially a missed gear coming out of turn 5 there, where it's just killed the momentum? These cars, you know, they're really susceptible to, if you miss a gear and you've got to get out of the throttle relative to everybody else, put you on the back foot, but it doesn't look like he's got a speed deficit here, so maybe a driver error.
That was tight stuff there for a moment. They do use a H-pattern gearbox. He's steadied himself and should be coming home in the point. Someone's way out at turn 11.
That's the high line. It's not the fast line, though.
That was. Back to our race leader. Last couple of corners. Hugo Allen, he weathered the storm in this one, didn't he? Steadied himself, got through the pack, and has taken a huge step towards the 24-25 championship. With 1 race to go, he's almost there. But it's not quite summed up just yet. Blinko home for 2nd, so it'll be very important where White finishes, if he can get to the checkered flag, but that might just be enough to send Chris White from Taupo to Bathurst to compete at Mount Panorama in the 86 championship in Australia. But for Hugo Allen, he is just 1 race away from being crowned the 24-25 champion if he can get the job done later today. So Hugo Allen gets it from Zach Blinko. Nice drive from him. Justin Allen was right in the mix. Simon Hunter home for fourth in the end.
Well, Hugo, congratulations on the win. You're doing it when it matters.
Yeah, just stoked, to be honest. That's one of the best drives of my life, to be honest. Under pressure, and Bethune was right behind us going into the race with points and stuff. So now we've got a nice buffer for the last race. So it's not over till it's over, but definitely a good way to start the day.
You've got to be careful not to be too complacent, knowing you've got to finish at a certain place to wrap up the championship.
Yeah, correct. I think our starting spot for race 3 should be quite good. I think front row at least. So we'll see how that all adds up with everyone else. But it'll just be a case of keeping it clean and trying to win another car race.
Zach, congratulations, P2. That one a surprise you, or you've been building towards that?
I mean, obviously, we're aiming to try to get to the front, but yeah, we really had to get the elbows out to deliver that result. Super stoked. Couldn't have asked for much better on that one.
Justin, a P3. It's been a good second half of the season for you, isn't it?
Yeah, look, it's been a far stronger second half than what we started the season, and we've got podium after podium, which is really cool. Didn't quite have it. Hunter was defending so hard, and the field was, there was rubbing, there was racing, there was all sorts going on, and definitely wasn't my finest driving either on my behalf, but thanks to the team and all my sponsors here this weekend, all the Retco and Napa guys up there hopefully got a good show for me.
Hard to believe the season's almost done.
Yeah, one more to go. It's like graduation day, isn't it? It's the finals, and then the champagne or the hats fly and everything, and it's been an interesting season. We've learned a lot as a team, and myself as driving, being able to still show that after 6-7 seasons with this series, I'm still competing with the best of them. So I'm wrapped with myself as well.
Podium time, and championship leader Hugo Allen now holds a strong hand. Worth noting that Chris White has sealed the rookie title, Simon Hunter the Masters crown. The final race is just moments away. All in readiness here in Taupo for the final race of Toyota's GR86 Championship, all brought to you by Bridgestone. Is there a final twist in the tale of a very memorable season? Let's go racing.
Racing action continues here at the ITM Taupo Super 440. It's the final race of the weekend for the NZ GR86s, and they have just burst onto the racetrack. It's Hugo Allen from the pole, leading AJ Giddy down through turns 4 and 5. And Andy, they were on track this morning for the reverse grid race 2, and the action was hot, particularly at the front of the field. But for Hugo Allen, he is in the perfect position right now to be crowned the champion for this year. Needs to bring it home from the pole.
He certainly does, and he is in the prime position at the moment, Chad. You're right. The reverse top 10 always mixes things up a little bit, and the opening laps of that race was brilliant, but we are back to status quo here. All the fast guys are at the front. It's literally a scenario of Hugo Allen starts from the pole. He leads this field at the minute, and now he just needs to hit his marks for the remaining 8 laps. It's really Bethune that's got to put the pressure on him, and he's got to hunt him down. AJ Giddy running second there, done a brilliant job. Got turned around in the reverse grid race earlier today, but as I mentioned, this has all just been reset. It's all based off speed from race 2 has determined this grid, and this is the natural flow of GR86 Cup here in New Zealand.
So Allen leads the field through the first lap. And the prize that is up for grabs, $50,000 to put towards a drive next year in the NZ GT Championship in the brand new Supra GT4 Evo 2. So it's a wonderful prize to win. Earlier today we saw Chris White win the rookie honours, so he'll be off to Bathurst to race on the grid over there as the lead rookie from this field this year. Speaking of rookies, AJ Giddy, he's just 14 years of age and he sits second in this race. He was 13 when the season started. He's only just turned 14, and here he is following the championship leader around. That is hugely impressive for a driver of his youthful demeanour. 14 is incredible to be doing this and handling one of these race cars in a pack this feisty and following the leader, although it looks like he's under pressure at the top of the racetrack from Justin Allen right now.
Yeah, and we saw that pressure from Justin Allen in the reverse grid race earlier today. We know he wants to fight, he wants to move forward. But AJ Giddy, man, you referenced it, Chad, 13 to start the championship. He now is 14, and he looks like he's got the maturity of about a 25-year-old at the moment. The way he's racing, he's not buckling under that pressure. And usually, his early teenage years and the word maturity don't go hand in hand. But in this case, for AJ Giddy, man, he's got maturity in spades. Can I be as bold as to go and say that he is potentially the Oscar Piastri of GR86 Cup? Yeah. Very unemotional, delivering more than his young years particularly show in terms of when you walk past him in the paddock. He looks very, very young, looks even younger than 14 years of age, but the way he drives that car, brilliant.
Well, as this continues with Hugo Allen doing a nice job in the front of this field, round of Crean, they are some seriously cool prizes that we mentioned that's up for grabs. And Tony Quinn, who does so much for the future of New Zealand motorsport's got more.
Exactly, Chad. We know that motorsport is more about it's about talent, but you also need opportunity. Tony Quinn, you started the Tony Quinn Foundation to give opportunity to young drivers, Kiwis in particular, to find their way on the world stage. Now, you've got a very exciting announcement today as well. You're offering a prize to one driver, two driver. What are we hearing?
Well, the Toyota series in New Zealand is a fantastic series, and Toyota are great supporters of the sport in New Zealand. So the TQF supports the CD Throp cars and also the 86s. And the 86 this year has been very competitive, and there's a couple of guys that deserve to be helped. So this year, for the first time, we've decided that we'll offer help to two guys, Hugo Allen and Chris White. I think they're both deserving of winning, and their punishment is they have to drive with me in the GD4 in Australia, just to give them a taste of the GD4 Toyota Supra, and we'll see how they go. I think they'll be fine. And
neither of these guys are aware that they're about to receive this prize?
They've all been schmoozing, they've all been trying, but I think it's been kept tight. They've done a good job, so they'd have a fair idea. But I think they're jostling for one, but we're going to give it to both of them because they both deserve it.
Thank you, Tony. What a huge opportunity for a couple of young guys. And look, they'll find out at the end of this race.
That is really cool. Thank you, Rihanna, and well done to Tony Quinn, who does so much for motorsport in this part of the world and across in Australia. So for this young man on screen today, Andy, sounds like it's going to get even better.
Oh, what an awesome opportunity, Chad, not only to come to Australia and do some races in GT4, the opportunity to learn racecraft in a different category is huge, but I caught up with Tony Quinn and Josie Spillane this morning that look after the Next Gen series over here, and yeah, it won't be just racing lessons that will be learned. There will be quite a few life lessons that will go as part of that prize as well, and some very, very important ones. TQ, he doesn't hold back, does he?
I love how he says it's punishment having to drive with him.
Exactly.
I'd hate to see what second prize is. It would be a wicked opportunity for those two to go over there, so well done to them both.
So cool, so cool. And doesn't have to happen, let's be honest. You know, credit where it's due. That prize doesn't have to be offered, and just like you don't have to crack the throttle there, and you don't have to slide out of turn 7 there. You can though, and you can have some fun doing it. So, yeah, awesome job. Well done, Tony, and everybody involved in putting that together. And we wish Alan and White the absolute best.
Here we go. Check this out. We've got Jet Murray, that's Cooper's brother, on the inside here of car 32. Josh Bethune, who won the race yesterday. Very, very tight down there as they slam on the brakes down towards the last corner. And turn 11, I should say, before they lead it onto this big, long back straight. They managed to just sort it out in time. It's been such a competitive season for the Bridgestone GR86 Championship. Hugo Allen's done a really good job here in this final round of the championship. He won race 3 here at the opening round. And check out the battle down the back straight. The 222 is Arthur Braun, and Jet Murray went ultra defensive. Was not going to let the park and save car slide down the inside, down towards turn 12 and 13.
Ultra defensive. You could not be any more defensive than that. That was extreme drivers left from Jet Murray there, and he's got no fight now. That job is going to get done on the run down into turn 1.
Whoa.
And there's a bit of nose to tail going on there, and Jet Murray stuck right in the middle. So Murray looking like he has lost a fair amount of speed out of that car, and I don't think it's because of the way that the panels are hung on that car at the moment and being dislodged by everybody around him. It just doesn't look as comfortable as what we've seen across the course of the weekend so far. He's had a huge amount of speed. We do know that he was caught up in that incident yesterday with Cam McLeod. Whether or not the balance in that car or the chassis is pointing as straight as it should, we don't know. But yeah, he looks like he's lost a lot of speed, and it's not wanting to turn the way that it normally would. And what I mean by that is you can see him physically turning the steering wheel, but the car is just not perching into the road, and it's not gripping So he's in battle stations there a bit at the minute.
That incident was a really costly one for Hayden Baccaris, who had a really good performance here last time we raced in Taupo. He was second in the championship, and the knock-on effect from that crash yesterday, as we see Mason Potter get through in the Pizza Hut car, is he's dropped to 4th in the points now, Hayden Baccaris. So it's been a tough one. He's trying to fight back up here in this last race, fighting Justin Allen for a spot in the top 3. What a cool shot that is.
I love this shot of turn 4 and everybody just smoking it over the top of that curb on the right-hand side, dragging a little bit of dirt, but it just shows how physical these cars are, how much you can lean all the way into the Bridgestones that are on the left-hand side of these cars, and they'll continue to grip, and how much you can unweight that inside of the car. Super, super cool. I will never, ever get sick of seeing shots like that. And then, as they make their way through turn 5, they all sort themselves out and they become line astern again.
Justin Allen got really close to the back of AJ Giddy, pouring the pressure on down there at turn 1. Uh-oh, we've got one around down here. That's Templeton facing the wrong way, but Max got his car back on track, and he's grabbing gears in the 92 to get it going again. Have a bit of an idea as to what's happened down here. Whoa, that's pretty hefty contact with Emerson Vincent in the 30. Oh, a little look down the inside of the last quarter. Really caught him by surprise.
I would have said yes. I just needed to think about how I was going to put this. But
it was a troubled and winced look on Andy's face then when he saw that replay.
Yeah, sorry for it. Nobody at home sees that, do they? Something winking into the phone as I'm talking to somebody. So yes, Templeton was surprised. Absolutely, because that is not a normal overtaking place. And yeah, my take is that was very opportunistic and was not really on, unfortunately. I'll let you gather your thoughts there for a second, Chad.
Fight for second, still a good one right now from Giddy, Allen and Blinko inside second, third and fourth. And this battle back to Hayden Baccaris in the 20. And then Mason Potter is on a bit of a charge here, actually, in that Pizza Hut car. He's rounding him up. There'll be 2 to go next time by for our race leader and soon champion to be. But can AJ Giddy hang on for a podium? That would be a really impressive result.
Yeah, it looks really solid, looks really happy sitting there in that second position, and he spent the majority of this race coming under a huge amount of pressure from Justin Allen behind. We know he's aggressive, Allen, but he just, unlike Hugo in the reverse grid race earlier today, he wasn't able to get the job done, and the car doesn't look like the front end or the front axle is perching into the road. It doesn't look like it turns as hard as AJ Giddy's car does through this first phase of the lap, and that's allowing a little bit of breathing space for Giddy. But when they come into this next part of the lap, all of the benefit goes towards Justin Allen there in the Napa entry, and then he starts to claw his way back. So yeah, AJ Giddy, mate, he is doing a brilliant job here. You've referenced it if you've just turned your television on. He is 14 years of age, and the amount of maturity coming out of that car at the minute is super impressive.
Absolutely. Also worth noting with these Bridgestone tyres, we talk Supercars with their Dunlop tyres, they've got 7 sets of those of the soft tyre for the weekend. They get 1 set of tyres for the entire weekend in this category. So they've had them on for qualifying and now the 3 races. You can imagine the state of the grip, given how this circuit in particular is certainly difficult on tyre wear.
Yeah, tyre degradation here is huge. It is the most coarse cheese grater that we run on, let's say. So if you've got one of those in your kitchen, it tells the story. It's the really fat grating that you've got going on, and it's tearing the rubber off these cars. So yeah, by this phase in the weekend, no rubber left, and the pictures we're seeing here, Chad, is you can see the cars, particularly on the run through turn 10, the rear is just giving up and it's going, hey, I've got no more grip left, and they're sliding through there. And for me, I'm just settling in and loving the images that we're seeing, because that's where these guys, you know, they earn their money, and as a young development category, you learn a lot over the course of the weekend. You start off with a whole heap of grip, and as your racing goes on, you've got to drive differently based on the amount of grip level that you've got underneath you. Job still needs to get done, but you've got to do it slightly differently.
This is going to be a 3.3 kilometre victory lap for Hugo Allen as he starts the last lap of season 24-25, the Bridgestone NZ GR86 Championship. He has a comfortable 1.3 second lead back to AJ Giddy. We pick him up in the middle of the circuit. The fight is on for second between Giddy and Allen. Zach Blinko trying to close in on that battle as well. But I feel like this is going to be a huge result for a kid who was born in March 2011. If he can hang on to this second spot, it's not going to be easy though, because he's got the very experienced Justin Allen in the 99 Napa car all over the rear end of car number 10 in that OP86. You talk about moments where young drivers arrive. If he can, in front of all the crowd, the live TV cameras, and the bosses of the Supercars paddock, put this car on the podium, aged just 14 years old, that'll be a performance to remember.
Absolutely, and credit where it's due, but Justin Allen isn't giving up here. But just look at the car placement happening here from AJ Giddy. He's putting it in the right place, and he forced Allen to have a look around the outside there, and it's always going to be difficult, particularly the point we just made where the tyres are at the end of their life. He knew that Allen was never going to get the job done there, and that is that maturity that we keep talking about, and I keep, selling the dream with AJ Giddy here, is the maturity levels are huge, but take nothing away from Hugo Allen here. Leads this race. Brilliant job.
Is his moment. He's been a former leading rookie of this series, and he has risen up this year, harnessed the new GR86, driven at the checkered flag and the championship. Hugo Allen takes a huge step forward in his career, and he will win the Toyota Bridgestone GR86 title for 24-25. 14-year-old AJ Giddy home for second. So impressive. He only turned 14 3 weeks ago. 13 years of age when the season started, and he's home for second. You could just about guarantee you're going to see that kid driving something somewhere, wherever you're at trackside in the future as a professional race car driver. But Hugo Allen for Kiwi Tarp and for Carvets back in the sport goes to win the championship. Well done to him on a great performance. And I wonder if Simon Hunter has got the job done in the Masters Championship as well, finally ending the run of John Penny. But it's Hugo Allen by nearly 2 seconds. That's a huge gap in the Toyota 86 Championship over here. AJ Giddy, that is a really huge moment for him. A podium in front of the big crowd, all that pressure. Hayden Backerus unlucky to him in this championship, but well done Josh Bethune, second in the title fight. Justin Allen, third in the championship. We'll make sure that they get their praise as well. Well done, Hugo Allen. This is your day. This is your moment. The champion for season 24-25 in the Bridgestone GR86s.
I know the smile is going to get a little bit bigger. And we said before, you just know how to time things perfectly. When you go back to Teretonga, which was your horrible round, did you think now that you'd be sitting here on the cusp of lifting up the championship trophy?
Yeah, I think we came here for a reason, and I'm so thankful to Kiwi Tarp and Carvets for giving me the opportunity to get back in a race car. If it weren't for them, then I wouldn't be able to actually be racing. So, I can't thank all the boys enough. They gave me a strong car all season, and ultimately, our qualifying performances didn't quite come to fruition as we would have hoped. But we always worked on having a good race car, and that's where the points are scored. So I can't thank my boys enough, and all my family and friends for being here and supporting me along the whole season. I'm so stoked.
I was about to say, you're quietly subdued. I mean, we can say that you are the new champion. Just your initial thoughts.
Yeah, I don't really know what to say, to be honest. I'm just blown away. And another person I want to thank is Tom Alexander. I've been working with him the last year or so. He's got me into doing some driver training and stuff for my work, and he's been a good mentor for me as well. I can't thank him enough. Again, if it weren't for him making some connections, then again I wouldn't be here. So big thanks to him, and I'm speechless. I was so happy.
Second place, P2 for the final race of the season. Does it mean that things have gone better as the season has unfolded for you?
Yeah, definitely. I was just glad I was able to get my first podium for a Supercars round. It's pretty cool for me.
Has there been a lot of pressure feeling it's a Supercars run? Everybody's excited about it.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of pressure, but glad I was able to do quite well for the Supercar round.
So when you look at how you started the season, how you've progressed, what has been the biggest thing that you've learned to driving the GR86?
Oh, just everything on how to work with the data and just going quicker as it's going on, really.
Well, congratulations on your first podium at the right spot, man.
Thank you.
We've spoken before already in the earlier race today, but everything coming right. Is there one round you're going, gee whiz, if we'd gone better, we might really have pushed Hugo?
Oh, look, everybody in this field knows what happened at Highlands, and that probably, ultimately, unfortunately, was our championship. So decided to try and get Hugo, but look, credit to him. My adopted son over there did very well all year, and Keith's laughing in the background. Good on him. But no, huge thanks to the new team, Syndicate Motorsport, Glenn, Kerry, Michael, Nikki this weekend, Mum, Dad, Paris and kids at home. Huge thanks to Napa, Fielding Auto Electrical, Ditma, Sign Fusion, everybody. Amazing year, and I hear we've done pretty well in points overall, so even better.
Fittingly, the final podium of the year features the new champion sealing the title in style with 2 race wins on Sunday. Great comeback story after being on the sidelines last season too. Some news emerging here. In addition to Toyota's already impressive prize pool in this series, Hugo and the new rookie champion Chris White now have the opportunity to race in Australia in a GR Supra in GT4. Congratulations, and our thanks to the Tony Quinn Foundation there. Final look at the standings. A gracious Bethune, the first to congratulate Hugo Allen. Justin Allen, on several occasions this year, reminding us of the power of consistency, featuring on the podium here again across the weekend. That is it for the season. We hope you've enjoyed it. Some new names will join the grid next summer, alongside those with unfinished business in Bridgestone GR86. We'll catch you then. Bye for now.